Hello guys, welcome to my very first Pilates class here on YouTube. I am so excited. I'm a little nervous, which is funny because I've been sharing my workouts and my meditations on my website, thefaceshannoncompany.com, which is linked below, for just over 2 years now, and it's been such an amazing experience. We've created such a supportive and empowering community, and it really was my members in that space that inspired me to want to share my energy in this practice in a more accessible way through a platform like YouTube, which is free. So we're going to be moving together, we're going to be connecting, and we're going to be showing up to invest in something that's going to make us feel really grounded and connected to our bodies throughout the practice, and especially once we're done. Let's hop right into it. This is a beginner-friendly practice, so you don't need any props. We're gonna move really slowly, so wherever you are in your fitness journey, this workout should be perfect for you. Let's come to our back, all the way down on the mat, and once you're there, go ahead and have those knees bent and your feet planted. Let's bring the left hand to the rib cage and the right hand to the belly. And once you're comfortable, you can allow the eyes to close. We're going to begin with a little bit of breath. Let's take our first intentional inhale through the nose. Trying to slow it down, maybe even holding it at the top. Notice how the belly rises and the ribs expand. The body is opening up as you fill it with air. And then on that exhale, sighing out the mouth, feeling the ribs knit, the belly drop down to the mat. Keep going like this. Big inhale through the nose. Breathing in presence and mindfulness. And when you exhale out the mouth, releasing any outside noises or voices. We want to give ourselves explicit permission to be fully present during our time on our mat. And our breath work at the beginning acts like a little bit of a buffer between everything else we have going on in our life and our practice. Let's take one more big inhale, filling the body up. As it balloons, hold it at the top. And then exhale out the mouth, relaxing even deeper as the body deflates. Awesome. You can allow your eyes to open. Hopefully you already feel a little shift. We're going to bring our hands to either side of our hips and just make sure your feet are hip distance apart and parallel underneath those knees. We're going to begin to imprint our spine. So naturally we have that little arch. I want you to flatten it. You're going to tuck your tailbone, press into your heels, and we're going to roll ourselves up into our first bridge. At the top of your bridge, I want you to relax your shoulders. We want to drop our ribs, connect to our core, lift the glutes an inch higher. And then from here, start at the top of the back and roll yourself down inch by inch. Glutes are the last to lower, and then they're the first to lift. Holding for a moment at the top before widening sits bones and lowering. Let's take an exhale as we curl up, connecting to the back of the body, opening up the front side. And then we're going to inhale as we lower. Taking things really slow. Most of that weight is in your heels. Your toes are light. face relaxed. We always have a checklist in our exercises, and the first step is just to get moving. So we lift the hips and we lower the hips. It's a pretty simple movement. Then we want to connect our movement to our breath. And I always pair the more challenging part of the movement, which is the lift, with our exhale. And then we inhale to lower. And then after we have our movement and our breath situated, we want to connect our mind to our muscles. So instead of thinking about anything else you have going on today, or thinking about work or your phone or your to-do list, get really, really present and focus on the muscles that we're working. You're gonna get more bang for your buck and the most out of your time on your mat, and our time is so precious when we focus on the muscles we're targeting. The next time you're in your bridge lift, we're gonna hold. Take a moment. Again, make sure the ribs aren't popping or ballooning. You wanna press them down. You wanna tuck hips under. Keep them at their highest point. Palms are facing inwards. We're gonna take an inhale as we float both the arms overhead, all the way back. And then we're gonna exhale. Keep those hips high, arms arc over the chest, all the way back down to the mat. Take it slow. We're drawing a big rainbow shape back, rainbow shape forward. Think about the heels pressing down so the hips stay high and still. It's more about the stability through the lower body than it is about the mobility through the arms. Arms are gonna do their thing because it's the easier part. I want you to focus on hips, squeezing glutes. Good. Plug that belly in just like we did during our breath work at the beginning of our practice. And then the next time your arms are over your chest, pause right there. Good, from here, arms are still. We're gonna drop the hips halfway down. Exhale, press them up. Inhale, hips go down. Exhale, up. So we're keeping the tension on those muscles the whole time. It's slower than a pulse, but same type of thing. Good. You got it. Give me 2. And then the next time those hips are at the highest point, pause right there. Keep them completely still. We're gonna scissor the arms. 1 goes back, 1 goes down. Pull through center. You don't need to pause, and switch. Again, think more about those hips. Take it slow with the arms. We're able to be in the most precise alignment when we move slow, and we're actually gonna hit the muscle and the movement in a deeper way when we move slowly. Find length between left arm and right. Good. 1 more in each direction. If those hips drop, press them an inch higher. Then the next time the arms are through center, you're gonna pause. And then you're gonna roll the hips all the way down. Good, give the knees a nice big hug. Take a breath here. Stretching out the back and the hamstrings. You can always pedal your feet. That might feel good. Awesome, and we're gonna move right on to some lower ab work. So wherever you are, set those feet down. We're gonna pick our hips up and kind of scooch them away from the shoulders so that your torso is as long as possible, and we want that back flat the whole time. From here, we're gonna lift our legs to tabletop. So I want those knees right over your hips. Oftentimes they want to come closer to the shoulders because that's going to be easier, but we want to resist against that temptation and keep them stacked. Toes are pointed, knees are locked to 90 degrees. Let's begin with our toe taps. Right toes, reach away, tap the mat. Slowly pull the knee back. Left toes tap. Slowly pull the knee back. Wait for that moving leg to return before switching sides. And because everything we do in life is fast-paced, and half the time we're just moving on autopilot and we're distracted and not fully present, it's gonna be, at first, challenging in your practice and in my classes to slow things down. It's our default to move fast, and we also associate that with being productive, but we're gonna reframe it here and think of productivity as mindfulness and presence and control. Make sure you're actually reaching your toes away and tapping the mat compared to bending your knee and tapping the toes. We want to feel the leg pressing away from the midline and the core works to pull it back. The next time you finish on your left leg, you're going to set both your feet down. Awesome. Take a moment here. And then you're going to interlace your hands together, creating a little hammock shape, and then bring the hands to the back of the head. My number one tip for ab curls is to make sure you're supporting your head. The head's coming along for the ride, but we don't want to lift through the chin or the neck. We're lifting from your abdominals. Elbows are wide. We're gonna find an ab curl as we lift our right leg to tabletop. Everything lowers, switching sides. Again, try to stop that knee right over the hip. Think about getting your shoulder blades off the mat. It's hard to talk and ab curl at the same time. And you can press in to your opposite foot to help get that knee lifted. So now that we have our movement, let's come back to our breath. It really helps with core work. Exhale up. Finish your exhale before you start to inhale and lower. That means you might have to hold at the top. But the good thing is that means you can also hold at the bottom till you finish your inhale. Good, keep going like this. Last one on the right leg. Lift up nice and high, last one with the left leg. And then all the way down. Take a moment. You can either relax your head or just leave your hands there because we're gonna add on. Everything we do in Pilates, specifically my classes, are all about progressions. We start with a more foundational movement that is fairly simple, and then I always give you options to increase the resistance. So there's always something for everyone. From here, we're gonna add double leg lift with our ab curl. So let's take a big inhale to prep. Head is heavy in the hands. Exhale, curl head, neck, and shoulders. This time I want you to actually hug your knees in, creating a little ball shape, maybe even lifting your hips up. Everything opens, toes tap. Exhale up. When you lift those hips, you're gonna create a really nice burn in those lower abdominals. But don't compromise the height of your ab curl. I want shoulder blades off the mat still. Good, big inhale. That exhale is gonna help us connect to our core and give us more energy and ultimately work the core in a deeper way. Why not get the most out of our time? Good, make sure your elbows are still wide. Give me 3 more. Good, relax through the jaw and face, you got it. Knit the ribs. 1 more, nice big ball shape. Everything lowers down. Take a breath right here. Exhale, let it go. One last thing to do, it's the cherry on top. Find that inner energy and strength we all have. Head is heavy, let's lift up. Feet can be down, elbows wide. Looking towards where your ceiling and wall meet, little pulses up. Up, up. You got it, exhale. Exhale. Give me 6, 5, a little bit higher, 4, 2, one more big lift, flex the abs, and all the way down. Amazing work. Rest your head. You can turn over one shoulder and then over the other, and then just let the knees fall apart for a moment in your butterfly. Giving those hip flexors a little reset. And then when that feels good, hug the knees into the chest, grab onto the back of the thighs, and we're gonna rock ourselves up to seated. And then we're gonna swing our legs around, and we're gonna meet in a tabletop position. So once you're there, I want you to be extra mindful of your alignment. So we want shoulders right over the wrists, and we want the hips right over the knees. Make sure that your chest stays lifted, so it's easy to kind of collapse into the shoulders, but that's gonna create a lot of tension on the wrists, and when we connect to our core, it's gonna really help those wrists feel better in tabletop, but we won't be here for too long, so you should be good. Gaze is down in front of the hands, neck is long, core braced. Let's start to lift the left arm just in front of the shoulder. It can be a little bit lower, palm is down. We're gonna swim the arm through T and tap your back hip. You don't need to lift the arm any higher. It's going to the side of the leg, not above your back. And then you're gonna slowly bring it through center and seamlessly replace it underneath that shoulder. Switching sides, right arm lifts, fingers are long. Draw that rainbow shape that we did earlier with the arms. Tap the back hip and pull it back in front. Good, and there's 2 parts to this movement, just like most movements. So 2 opportunities to pair our exercise with our breath. Maybe it's inhale back, maybe it's exhale forward, whatever feels more natural to you. This is a great example of an exercise where the focus is more on your stability. So I want you to keep your torso completely still as the arm moves. And it's less about the mobility through the shoulders or how, fast we can move the arm. We want to actually take it slow. If you feel like that chest is collapsing down, try to press the mat away. Keep it lifted. We should be feeling obliques here. And then the next time your left hand moves, we're going to do one more time with the right, so we're even. And then once that right hand returns through center, you're going to pause. Take a moment here, press into all 10 fingers. We're going to tuck our toes under, and we're going to do some knee hovers. So connect to your core, neck long. We don't want to be looking at the legs here. Let's hover those knees about 1/2 inch above the mat. Back is flat. We have 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, 1, downward dog. Hips go nice and high. Try not to move your legs because we're going to be floating back to a knee hover in a moment. But you can always lift your heels if you want a little more space in this shape. And then press your heels back down. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, float forward again, knee hover. Nice strong alignment. Breathe and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale up. Good. Let it all go. Relax the face, relax the shoulders. Maybe heels lift, and maybe heels lower. We're gonna do that one more time. Make this your strongest one yet. Belly to spine, press the mat away. 5, 4, and 3. We're gonna set our knees down. We have 2 and 1. Knees can lower, untuck your toes. Sink back to a very quick but well-deserved child's pose. Give the wrists a little break. Sink the hips back. Breathe into the lower spine. And then we're going to shift right back to our tabletop. And then from here, we're going to do some shoulder taps. So these are really simple upper body exercises, but you're going to get lots of core work with them as well. So from here, keeping the torso as still as possible, let's lift our left hand and tap our right shoulder. And then we replace it underneath that left shoulder. Right hand, left shoulder. Good. And although this is fairly simple, we're building strength in the wrists, because I know most of us have sensitive wrists or don't love being in tabletop, but that's mainly just because we don't have the foundational strength there. So something simple like this is going to strengthen our arms to support us as we eventually progress into more challenging series. But when we connect our mind to our muscles, we're able to get more out of this movement than if we're distracted and just quickly tapping those shoulders. I want you to feel the core supporting you every time you tap the shoulders. Last 3, 2, and you're gonna finish with the right hand tapping that left shoulder. Good. And then from here, step your hands a little bit wider than shoulder width. We're gonna do some plank to downward dog flows. So let's step the feet back into your plank. I want the hips low, core brace, neck long. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, downward dog. Nice big inhale here. And big exhale, pike the hips a little higher, maybe press the chest down. Let's do that 2 more times. Hinge forward, strong plank, shoulders over wrists. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale up. You're always welcome to do that little pedal. Big breath in. We have 1 more like that. Make it your strongest one yet. Here we go. Hips low, shoulders proud. 5, 4, 3. Embrace the shake and burn. It means it's working. 2. Set your knees down. Untuck your toes. And big child's pose. Good. Take a big restorative breath in through the nose. Big exhale at the mouth. And then just walk your hands to your knees. Give your wrists a little roll. And switching directions. You can roll your shoulders if you want as well. And then we're gonna shift onto our glutes. You're gonna swing your legs around, and we're gonna make our way to our back to finish our practice the exact same way we started, with a little bit of breath. And I really encourage you not to skip over this part, because this is where we get to sit with the magic and really just absorb that accomplishment and that energy that you created. It's arguably the most productive and important part of the practice. So once you are comfortable on your back, you can have your palms up. You could have them resting on the belly, whatever feels better for you. Go ahead and close the eyes. Take a big inhale through the nose. Hopefully feeling even more space and expansion in the heart center, the belly, the chest. And then exhale at the mouth, relaxing the entire body. Taking this time to breathe in again that accomplishment. We're on the other side of the challenging series. And that's why we don't want to rush off and brush past it. We want to sit with it and remember this feeling and call it forward the next time we don't feel as motivated to show up. We want to breathe in gratitude to ourselves for prioritizing this type of self-care in our day. There's so many barriers and excuses we can tell ourselves. But showing up is the majority of the battle, and now we're on the other side. Also thanking your body for allowing you to move. Oftentimes we don't think too much about our physical abilities. And then when something feels off, or we're sick, or we injure ourselves, then we're hyper aware of the body and its inability to move. So we want to start to practice that positive self-talk, because it really does retrain our subconscious mind, and our subconscious dictates exactly how our life presents itself, manifests, and unfolds. So take this time to breathe in love and appreciation to yourselves and your bodies. Absorb it, fill yourself up with it, become it. And then on that exhale, feel it locking into place as you gently detach from it. We never want to hold on to anything too tight. We allow things to flow through us. And when you are ready, you can start to open your eyes. Amazing work. You guys are welcome to stay exactly where you are on your mat. Hopefully you have a little time in your day to relax and hang out. But that is all for our practice. Thank you so much for being here with me. I had so much fun sharing this space, and I appreciate your energy. I would love if you could like and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment about your favorite part, that would mean so much to me as well. And I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you in our next class.